What's going on, ladies and gents? How are you feeling? How are you feeling today? Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations with Chris. I'm your host, Chris. But no, seriously, I always come with candid conversations after some insightful thinking or just great conversation with friends or family. This one is for my fellas and for parents, period. It's about being a dad. And as y'all know from Speak What You Seek, aka Speak to Your Vision, which is on YouTube, I'm authentic and I'm as honest as I can be with y'all because I want y'all to know that it's transparency, nothing but transparency. There's no fluff, there's no nothing. So on this episode of Candid Conversation with Chris, I'm really going to talk about just being a dad. But I'm going to light up my cigar for this one, if y'all don't mind real fast. Here we go. Thank y'all for joining me again. Wow. So like I said, this is to my fellas and to my parents. This is my perspective on being a dad. Nobody else's. It's just mine. But being a dad to me is a privilege. It's an honor. And one of my good homies, his name is Dominic. He told me this about, wow. I was 18 when he told me this, and I'm 40 now, and I still remember. So it shows you and tells you how important that being a dad, how important that can be. A father is a title, but a dad is a lifestyle. Simple. It's just that simple. A father is a title. Being a dad is a lifestyle. My lifestyle is being a dad. So pretty much, fellas, I don't want you to think that you're a failure at being a dad. We all fall short. There have been times that I felt that I was falling short just for the simple fact that I wasn't there for my son. There's a period of time when I felt like I didn't know my son. And this is within the last, my son is 10. I'm going to say in the last, 4 or 5 years. The last between 4 to 6 years of my life has been different. What I have not imagined. However, things have turned around already. But again, fellas, I don't want y'all to think that your shortcomings means you're a failure, because it's not. Your shortcomings just means that you truly have to learn your kid. Whether you're a male or a female, whether you have a son or a daughter, it doesn't matter. They start to mature. They start to learn different things. They start to like different things. And one thing that we do is we try to push our kids to do things that we wanted to do. And I come to find out that that's not a good thing to do. And I'm going to tell you why. Because your kid might not even like what they're doing, but the fact that they love you is something that they'll deal with it until they get to a certain age. You can't live your life that you wanted to live vicariously through your child. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. Allow your child to be who they are. My son's mom sent me something a couple of weeks ago, and it was a meme, And it literally was showing how, as a younger child, that the mom would yell at the son, yo, stop being sensitive. What are you crying for? There's no need to cry, blah, blah, blah. And that's how the old school parents are. I'm just speaking facts, y'all. I'm not even trying to throw nobody under the bus. I'm just speaking facts. And people that are 40 and over, I'm pretty sure you went through that, where your parents told you, your mom or your dad told you, yo, stop being a punk. Stop this, stop that. There's no need to cry, blah, blah, blah. It's a different time now. Allow your child to be who they are. Don't tell them that they can't cry, because what's going to happen is that they're not going to cry. They're going to shelter and hide their emotions. And once they get older, they're not going to know how to share their feelings at all. Because at times, to be honest with you and transparent, I still have trouble with sharing my feelings in certain situations. It is what it is. But I'm learning to shift my mindset into something different, and shift my mindset to where as though I'm allowing my son to develop his own. Because a lot of people used to ask me, yo, you're having a child, is he going to be a junior? Absolutely not. My thought about a junior is going to live in his father's shadows. A junior is not going to have his own identity. Even though my son's middle name is my first name, and as he gets older, people may refer to him as Little Chris, but I don't want that. I want them to know him for what his name is. That's what I want. But as far as my shortcomings, it might have been doctor's appointments that I missed for my son. There might have been times he wanted to do something and I wasn't able to do it because of work or because of money. But now I wake up and I bust my ass to do things for him. Not just for me anymore. I do things for him. I want him to see how it is to live a certain way. Do I have all the money in the world? Hell no. But I'm making do with what I have. And fellas, I want you to stop thinking that you have to have all the money in the world and you just have to buy your kids stuff, because you don't. Because your kids are not those toys. They're going to outgrow those toys. Like my son has outgrown some of his toys. What they're not going to forget are the memories and the experiences that you have with them. That's the important thing. Have experiences with your children, with your child. Because at the end of the day, this is easy to make. And as easy as money is to make, money will easily leave your pockets. Stop thinking money solves all problems, because it does not. I don't care what nobody says. Money does not solve all problems. You got to start thinking about their future now. But more than anything, if they're young, however old your child or your children are, create experiences for them. Forget the money. Create experience for them to see what it is to be truly loved. Because I feel that when you just give your kids money and you just throw money at them, or you just buy them gifts, it's like you don't want to spend time with them. You just putting them in front of an Xbox or a PlayStation or a laptop or a tablet or an iPad. That's what you're doing. You're just throwing them in front of that. Start spending time with your kids. Invest in your children. And I'm about to go in real fast. Hold on. I'm sorry. I felt this was a cigar conversation. However, what people always say, oh, I'll die for my kids. Stop saying you'll die for your kids. Excuse me. How about you start saying that you will live for your kids? You will do things to provide. I'm not going to say do things. I'm going to say this. Do the right thing to be there for your kids and live for your kids. Exercise. Do different things. Experience things with them. There have times where my son wants to do stuff with me, him, and his mom. And I'm like, dude, no, like, it's just about me and you. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this: experience your kids' experiences. Don't live vicariously through them. Live with them. You live with your kids, you learn from your kids. I've learned the one thing I've learned from my son is patience. The second thing I learned from my son is understanding. The third thing I learned from my son is this. As I stated early in the video, money does not solve everything. Money does not bring you closer to your child. Only thing money does, money affords you to do certain things that you can't do when you don't really have a lot of money. But the one thing I love my son, I love everything about my son. But the one thing I love about my son is happy with minimal. So I only can imagine when things keep turning around, things keep improving. When my son gets the big things, he's going to go freaking bananas, y'all. He's going to go bananas. And I'm going to go bananas with him because I know I worked my ass off to make sure my son has the things that he has and the things that he wants. Just because he wants something does not mean that I'm going to buy it. Children have to learn. Sometimes you got to earn stuff. Just like us, we earn a paycheck. We earn checks. If you're an entrepreneur out there, you earn checks. You earn money from doing what you love to do. My employees, you earn a check from going to work. I'm not saying that you love your work. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you earn a check from going to work. So let's start treating our kids a little bit differently. Let's start treating our kids in a way where we understand them. We go through experiences with them and we teach them. I have great conversations. I could have a busload of candid conversations, but I want to spread them out. I want y'all to understand, and I want y'all to know this. When it comes to my son, I'm going to live for my son. Simple as that. I don't want to die for my son where my son is dadless. I'm not going to say fatherless because a father, like I said earlier in the video, is just a title. I don't want my child dadless. I want my child to know his dad loves him. And yes, I'm hard on him sometimes, but I want him to understand and know how much I love him. And I ask him all the time, like, yo, son, do you know that I love you? And he says yes. Sometimes I ask him questions and I confuse him. But at the end of the day, I'm there for my son. I try to make ways that the work that I do, that I'm able to go to different things with my son and for my son. So that's it, y'all. We have one last thing. We have to learn how to listen to our kids. Stop pushing them off. Stop, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I've learned some stuff from my son. My son has asked me some thought-provoking things. I'm not going to say what they are, but it's some thought-provoking things. I'm not going to take up too much more of y'all time. But again, treat your kids accordingly. Have experiences with your kids. Stop saying that you'll die for your kids and start living for your kids. Again, another episode of Candid Conversations with Chris. I appreciate y'all as always for joining me. I will have another episode coming up soon. Stay tuned, but more importantly, please subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the video, not on this video, but also like and comment on the other videos that I have, because I have Candid Conversations with Chris, which this is, my 2 cents, and also where it all started, my baby, Making It Happen Monday. So make sure you tune in Mondays between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. every Monday to get your daily dose of Making It Happen Mondays. Until next time, y'all. Peace.